What drives a company to not just succeed, but to redefine the boundaries of its industry? Well, today I want to learn more about the story of a company called Stenn. They're a London-based FinTech that not only saw profits soar by 80% in 2023, but they're also shaping the future of digital financing. So, how does innovation fuel their unprecedented growth? And what can other companies learn from their journey? Well, today on Tech Talks Daily, we're going to try and uncover the real-world impact of technology and business. And my guest today, Bilal, he's going to share his insights on how Stenn's innovative approaches are supporting underserved businesses and contributing significantly to the fintech sector. And there's a few inspiring messages in this one, but I don't want to reveal any spoilers. Now, obviously, hosting a daily tech podcast comes with its challenges, and so I'm incredibly grateful to our sponsor for their essential support. Legacy managed file transfer tools often appear dated and lack the security that today's remote workforce increasingly demands. And as a result, companies that continue relying on outdated technology put their sensitive data at risk. Discover Kiteworks, the world-class secure file sharing and email platform, a solution that allows users to easily send automated or ad hoc files via fully integrated shared folders and email. And for administrators listening, they can manage policies in a unified console and create custom integrations with the comprehensive REST API. So, why don't you experience the unmatched functionality and integration that Kiteworks can offer over those traditional MFT servers? And one more thing, Kiteworks is also FedRAMP moderate authorized. So why not step into the future of secure managed file transfer with Kiteworks by visiting kiteworks.com to get started. That's right, that's kiteworks.com to get started today. But now, time to get today's guest on. So buckle up and hold on tight, because no matter where you're listening in the world, I'm going to beam your ears all the way to Dubai today, where today's guest is waiting to share his story. So a massive warm welcome to the show. Can you tell everyone listening a little about who you are and what you do?
Thanks, Neil. Thank you, first of all, for having me on the Tech Talk Daily podcast. Really glad to be here. I'm Bilal Bajwa, Chief Product and Technology Officer at Stenn. What that means is that I lead Stenn's product, technology, data, and design functions. A little bit about me. I have been involved in various technology startups in US, Europe, Middle East, and Asia, in industries ranging from gaming, marketplaces, FinTech, and in B2B, B2C, and C2C businesses. My higher education, first half of my career, was in the US, where I was fortunate enough to be part of some great organizations and really fell in love with early stage companies because of the impact that they can have and the way you operate, which is very lean and fast. Another great thing is that you're not held back by legacy in a lot of these startups, which is exciting for anyone starting off in a career in product or who loves building products. Later in 2014, I realized that while Bay Area is the tip of the spear, the same technology revolution is happening across the world in a lot of other places. And I wanted to experience as many of those ecosystems and contribute to them and also learn from them. So since leaving Bay Area in 2014, I have set up product tech teams in UK, Spain, UAE, Pakistan, Uzbekistan, Egypt, so some exotic places, and many other places. So far, it's been a fabulous journey, and I've been very fortunate to have met some amazing, talented people along the way and learned from them.
Absolutely love that. A true citizen of the world. I love how technology is breaking down those barriers, allowing you to work seamlessly with people all over the world in so many different locations. And one of the things that put you on my radar, you set off my tech spidey sensors when I was reading that Stenn had a record year for growth last year. And I think your profits were soaring something like 80%. So I'm conscious there'll be a few people listening hearing about Stenn for the very first time. So can you just tell the listeners a little about what Stenn is and also what was behind this huge momentum that you were experiencing?
Absolutely. It's been very, very exciting for us to see the growth recently, but it's been sort of a lot of hard work and some time in the making. So let me tell your listeners a little bit about what Stenn is. and the problem we are solving. So Stenn was founded in 2015 to support businesses that are underserved by traditional financial systems. Our goal is to make financial expertise, technology, and funding or lack of funding more available to small and medium businesses. That's what our focus and our specialization is. While traditional financing, or like I said, lack of financing holds companies back, companies such as Stenn offer complete flexibility and dilution-free model that puts business owners in the driving seat. In essence, the problem we are solving is one of enabling access to what is a multi-trillion-dollar financing gap for global SMEs. To date, we have helped businesses in over 75 countries access over $20 billion in working capital to scale operations and expand into new markets. This is a great feat for a relatively new company, and we are just getting started. Coming to your question about our growth recently, as global demand for working capital and trade finance solutions has soared, especially post-COVID, with the world reopening, our business has been a beneficiary of it and has grown as well. There's a huge and growing market, and we are growing with it. Over the past year, we've overcome growth barriers by aligning our business more closely with our rapidly expanding customer base. And as their business models sort of evolve, we have to make sure that our business rapidly expands and evolves with those customers. Part of it has been expanding our operations. We have expanded our hub in London. We've opened offices in US and Spain, as well as hiring people globally all over the world. What differentiates us a little bit from other competitors is whereas they focus on a single area, we offer a variety of alternative finance solutions from revenue-based financing to trade finance. In just last year, Stenn has seen revenues jump 42%, coinciding with an 80% increase in profit before tax. And while this is all great, a large part of also our growth, internal growth, has been driven by a $50 million funding, which we raised in 2022, which has allowed us to scale and hire some great talent. But as the business scales, there's a learning curve, and that is always steep. Therefore, it's essential for us to stay laser focused on our customer experience that truly guides our innovation roadmap.
And obviously you're working and traveling all around the world, spreading your message, and you're talking to me in Dubai today. I'm here in the UK, where there is this huge ambition to become a FinTech powerhouse over here. So I'm curious, how is Stenn contributing to this vision, and what role do you see your innovation playing in this strategy too?
Well, so startups, they are natural beneficiaries of an ecosystem. And what's really critical for a startup is access to this natural ecosystem around you that can enable your growth. And mostly it's about presence of other great companies and experienced talent. And London and UK has both. So we've been very, very fortunate about that. We've been very impressed with the quality of people that have joined our journey in the past year or two and longer than that. And it continues to get better. We are based in the Shoreditch area, and just walking around outside the office, there's a great buzz in the area. And the UK has a great primary and higher education system with a lot of world-class universities, which contributes to the success of these startups. The talent particularly talking about the FinTech industry, the talent in the financial services has always been amazing in UK. But what has changed is that in the recent years, there's been a sharp increase in interest in technology, with new grads wanting to get into tech companies, and that is the career of choice for them. And we're starting to see this more and more in the UK. So, like I said, companies such as Stenn have been great beneficiaries of this trend, with the brightest and most talented people wanting to join us. And I think especially for FinTech, it has a really bright future due to the natural DNA that has built up over the years in London as a financial hub. And as far as innovation is concerned, it plays a huge role for us as a startup in financial services. You need to do things better and faster than the current players. And we do that by employing technology and deploying tailored sort of algorithm for risks to make our offering better for our customers.
And I was also reading before you came on the podcast today that you've opened a second tech hub in Barcelona, one of my favourite cities of the world too. So I'm curious, what made you choose Barcelona, and how will this help support your service delivery too?
Absolutely. Barcelona is a great, great city. I always love visiting it.
Yeah.
We used to be a remote first business, especially during COVID. But now we work in a more hybrid manner. And as we've grown, we wanted to open more locations so that people have an opportunity to co-locate and they can start working on product together. We were looking for a second hub in Europe because initially most of our growth came in London. And as we scanned the market on various criteria, such as presence of local talent, economic stability, ease of travel, and access for global talent, because that's really what's most important for us. Barcelona has seen such an increase in tech talent in recent years. And with access to London, that's a great choice for us. So far, we've been very, very pleased with our experience so far. We've hired a great team over there. But, I wouldn't say that Barcelona is it. I think as we expand, I expect us to possibly add more locations in US or Asia as well.
Fantastic. Incredibly exciting times for you. And we are in the age of artificial intelligence, and data and tailored algorithms are also central to Stenn's operation. So can you tell me a little bit more about exactly how you analyse things like credit, fraud and compliance risks, and how this approach maybe helps offer a better customer experience? And the reason I ask this, we hear a lot about AI and algorithms and all this. We hear about the hype, but not the real world problems and that it solves and the experiences that it improves. So I'd love to put a bit of meat on the bones, as they say, on this.
Absolutely. I mean, look, overall, AI is changing the world we're living in. And I think in trade finance, we're seeing similar advancements with the integration of AI for enhanced, mostly, as you mentioned, risk assessment and sort of predictive analysis. At Stenn, the data and AI plays a crucial role for us in analyzing credit, fraud, compliance risks through deployment of tailored algorithms and data-driven. For us, the probability of default models, for example, are highly sophisticated, leveraging large data sets of historical default rates, financial data, payments data, firmographics, and alternate sets such as trade logistics. We are also integrated with open banking, commerce platforms, accounting integration. So we are utilizing thousands of different data points. And these models, the AI models, provide superior trade-off curves between sort of approval rates and loss rates. So enabling us really, credit underwriters and decision scientists to create automated decision-making policies aligned with the broader sort of company strategy. Just to give you an example, in the realm of fraud detection, we utilize extremely flexible LLM-powered entity matching services that can identify if different business names, beneficiaries are the same. So, for example, if there's an airport and it's London Heathrow and another place it's called LHR, we are referring to the same airport. That's just a very, very minor example that helps us with our models in making very, very fast and automated decisions. This also helps us in mitigating fraud risks by ensuring consistency and accuracy in our data from all these thousands of data points. Additionally, not just that, we also explore adverse media detection systems to continuously monitor and retrieve negative press about companies, their management, allowing us to act early and proactively in mitigating some of these compliance risks, as you mentioned. Overall, these AI-powered, data-driven approaches enhance our risk management capabilities, allowing us to expand our lending offerings, mostly by accurately assessing and mitigating the risk. And ultimately, what it allows us to do is to cater to a wider range of SMEs and ensuring that we support their growth and contribute to bridging sort of any gaps. So in a short term, summarizing, the AI models really allow us to be more efficient, fast, inclusive, and generally make better decisions for our customers.
probably seen firsthand how emerging markets often have very different needs to maybe the US and London, for example. And you've probably seen how digital financing is crucial for supporting SMBs that are otherwise underserved or underbanked. It's a topic we don't talk about enough, especially in these emerging markets. So what role do you see Stenn playing in maybe unlocking growth for these customers?
Yeah, I think that this is the area that we're really passionate about and we really focus on. As somebody who has been part of multiple startups myself, I see financing as really the thing that really holds back a lot of startups. So Stenn was really founded to support businesses that are underserved by traditional financial systems. And typically these are the SMBs and the smaller and medium-sized businesses. Our goal is really to empower SMBs through fast access to capital and to enable them to cover their overheads and sort of strengthen their supply relationships. And as they scale to take on larger orders more quickly and expand and pay their team and be prepared for any unexpected expenses. Ultimately, what we really want to do is let startup founders focus on what they're best, and that is serving their customers and growing their business. I read an interesting stat, which is that 90% of e-commerce startups fail during their first 120 days. We all know that anecdotally, but it's really interesting to see the stat. And majority of them suffer failure or loss in revenues due to access of capital to their business. And I love hearing stories of various businesses that Stenn has helped along the way. A recent example, I wouldn't divulge the name of the client for confidentiality's sake, but recent example is a very, very successful e-commerce company that achieved great success via social media, and they got some great TV press as well. And that resulted in an overnight business growing exponentially. And as their sales channel sort of exploded with a surge in demand, the founders were really tested because they needed to expand their logistics and address sort of supply chain capabilities. They also needed financing to match their ambition plans. Otherwise, there's always a gap between sort of them being able to fulfill the demand and then being able to ramp up their supply chain. So they, in this case, the founders really wanted to retain 100% control of their business, which is fair. And were able to do that with revenue-based financing provided by Stenn. So this is one example of an innovative solution that ensures that e-commerce companies have enough cash in the bank to fund all their operations. And like I said, founders can concentrate on the vital areas of the business, such as fixing the supply chain and inventory issues. What we hear from founders over and over again is what they are looking for when it comes to financing is ease of access, timely deployment of capital, because their business moves really, really fast and they need decisions that are very quick, and honest and transparent communication. A lot of them, it's the first time that they are dealing with some companies such as Stenn or looking out at financing, and they want somebody to help them and be a partner and really be a true partner to them as their business sort of scales and grows.
Of what you're doing here. And I love how Stenn was founded to support businesses that are underserved by traditional financial systems, and how the ethos behind the company as well, and how every business should have fast access to the working capital they need. Love where you are today and what you're doing and the difference that you make. But I'd love to find out a little bit more about you and what drives you, because I think none of us are able to achieve any degree of success without a little help along the way. And we very often celebrate the person at the top of that mountain, but not necessarily the climb up to the summit. So is there any particular person that, if you look back at your career, that maybe saw something in you, invested a little time in you, or just someone that you're grateful towards who helped you get you where you are? I'd love to give them a shout out today.
It's a great question. There's just so many people. Yeah. Neil, I would talk about two experiences if you allow me to. Over the years, there've been so many managers, mentors, people who have helped me along the way, and it's truly helped me reach where I am. And I try my best to enable others to sort of reach their potential. But there are two most significant experiences of my life. One was when I received an internship opportunity in college. And the second was when I was part of a startup that went public. In my junior year at University of Texas, I got an internship opportunity at a company in Berkeley called InterCDNet, where I ended up spending a summer in the Bay Area. And this was my first experience at a startup. And arguably, I didn't really have any qualification to be there other than like the founder taking a chance on me. And after this experience, I was hooked. Later, I ended up moving to California, including doing my master's at Berkeley. And I often wonder what career choices I would have made if I did not have that experience. And I think that's why it's really important to bet on young people and young talent. But the second experience, which came a bit later in my life, was working at Zynga and being part of the amazing growth story it had from 2009 to 14. Zynga, for people who don't know, was a gaming company primarily making games playable on Facebook, and later more broadly, it is widely associated by companies such as Farmville and Mafia Wars and a bunch of other, Cityville and a bunch of other games. But it was really a great place to learn principles of product management. And it's where I learned to combine data, design, and engineering to build great products. The gaming community is also a very passionate group of people, and it teaches you to listen very closely to what they're saying, as they're really your best advisors. And I think it would be fair to say that Zynga developed, or was amongst the first companies to develop, a lot of the gamification principles that are still used across many different industries, and of course have been improved much further. Free-to-play games is also an incredibly competitive industry, and the pace and quality of development is one of the toughest. And to have experienced that as Zynga grew from close to 100 people to, when I joined, to over 3,000 people by the time I left, including an IPO on NASDAQ, was just amazing. And I think that was my first real experience, sort of true success, and has been sort of the model after which I've looked at many other startups after that. Zynga also operated in a relatively autonomous teams or game studios, and I got an opportunity to run a few game studios as a general manager, which helped me later in my career in many executive roles. But to your question, I think one of the most influential people for me during that time was obviously Mark Pincus, who is the founder of the business. And one of my dear friends who introduced me to the opportunity, John Oswald, who I got the chance to work with for many years afterwards. So I think those are the two experiences that really left a deep mark on me, and I've kind of modeled my career after those.
Wow, incredible stories. A quick shout out to both of them. And one of the reasons I always ask this question, I think both of those individuals you named there, they're probably completely oblivious to the scale of the impact they've had on you. Maybe they see the headlines of record growth for Stenn and profit soaring 80%, but not realizing the huge part that they played in that from your backstory too. So it's a pleasure to share that story, and so important to inspire other founders listening as well. But for anyone listening, just wants to find out more information about all things Stenn, maybe how it can help them, where would you like to point everyone listening?
We are available. You can come to our website, stenn.com. You can look up our LinkedIn channels. You can reach out to me, Bilal Bajwa at Stenn. So there are very easy ways to get in touch with us and learn more about Stenn. And Neil, I would also add to it, you're doing exactly the same for many other people by bringing the voice of other technology experts in the industry and creating this forum. So we all try to pay it forward. And I think we're all trying to contribute to the success of the ecosystem, and how we impact other people. Sometimes we don't even realize it, but we do end up helping them.
Thank you so much for the incredibly kind words and sparing your time to sit down with me today. And as I said, it was a few months ago I was reading how Stenn saw that record year of growth in 2023, profits soaring by 80%, and how technology and, more importantly, data-driven approaches that build these highly monetized products have been largely key to your success, but I especially love digging into your past and learning more about this overnight success story and going beyond that into your origin story and the time you spent in the Bay Area. I'm hoping that will inspire a lot of founders listening today at the beginning of their journey. But thank you for sharing and putting this story out there today.
Thank you so much, Neil, for giving me the opportunity to come speak to and chat with you and get the message across to you listeners.
I think in today's episode, we unpack that the fusion of technology and strategic innovation isn't just about transforming businesses. It's thinking bigger than that. I think it's revolutionizing entire industries. And Stenn's journey is quite the testament to the power of data and tailored algorithms in creating a more inclusive financial environment. But what does the future hold for FinTech and digital financing? And will other companies catch up, or will Stenn continue to lead the charge in transforming this landscape? Well, a big thank you to today's guest for sharing his invaluable insights and experiences with us today and starting this conversation. And to everyone listening, wherever you are in the world, what are your thoughts on the future of FinTech and the role of innovation in driving business success? Please share your views with me on email, techblogwriter@outlook.com, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, just at Neil C. Hughes. So I invite you all to share your powerful and inspiring stories, your insights, your questions. If you want to come on the show, anything at all, on the easiest guy in the world to find. In fact, I'm that easy. I'm going to be waiting in your podcast feed bright and early tomorrow morning with another guest. But thank you for listening today, as always. And until next time, don't be a stranger.